Do you ever find yourself going into that negative thought spiral where all of a sudden you start thinking these negative thoughts and then all of a sudden it feels like you're out of control and you can't stop the cycle? Well, today we're going to be talking about the 5 steps you can use to get out of that negative thought cycle fast. Now, before we get into this video, if you do enjoy videos about brain hacking that's going to change your mind and change your life, then make sure you click that subscribe button down there in that corner. Make sure you get more access to videos like this one. So step number 1 is going to be change your environment. And so for a lot of us, your environment can actually shape the way that your brain actually fires. So for example, when you go and you get into bed, a lot of times you're thinking about getting ready for sleep, getting ready for bed. But when you go into the living room, you're thinking about more relax, watching some Netflix, watching Hulu, whatever it might be. But when you step into the office, all of a sudden your brain starts thinking more about work mode. Maybe you get a little bit more stress, you have a little bit more prone to anxiety, whatever it might be. Your brain's gonna see your surroundings, see your environment, and start to wire a specific way. So if you find yourself getting into that negative thought spiral, one of the first things you must do is step out of that environment and go into a new environment. So if you find yourself constantly getting in that spiral, and if you have the opportunity to be able to do this, I'm not telling you to leave the office, leave your work, leave your job, I'm not telling you to do that. But what you want to do is just go outside just for a little bit. Maybe step into a different room, go into a different area, just change your environment and start to get your body moving, which is going to lead us to step number 2. Step number 2, get your body moving. This is so important for a couple different reasons. One of the first ones is it's going to help you break the pattern. As soon as you get your body moving, it's going to stimulate your brain in a different way, and it's going to help you just break that cycle. So when you're in that sort of thought spiral, it's just going to get your brain to start thinking differently, and movement is one of the best ways to do that. The other thing it's going to do is when you start moving, when you start getting possibly some exercise in, when you go for a walk, get outside, go for a run, whatever it might be, go for a bike ride, hike, what it's going to do is it's going to stimulate endorphins in your body. When you have endorphins, that's what makes you feel good. It makes you feel happier. So one of the ways you can sort of hack that negativity cycle is just to get some movement in. So with that being said, that's also why it's so important, if you can, to work out first thing in the morning. Because what this is going to do is this is going to set your brain up for the day. So when you get that rush of endorphins first thing in the morning, it's going to set the tone for your brain ahead. It's already going to put it on a positive note, and that's really going to help you fuel your entire day. So I highly recommend you get started on that. Step number 3 is going to be train your brain to start focusing more on the positives. Now notice here, I didn't say just start focusing on the positives. Just do it. Right? It's not that simple when it comes to your brain. Your brain wires in a very specific way, and that becomes habit. So when you find yourself constantly thinking about negative thoughts, those thoughts are creating wiring in your brain. It's creating a pattern, a habit in your brain. Your brain's going to be much more prone to thinking those negative thoughts, and you probably already noticed that for yourself. So what we need to start doing is start on a regular basis feeding our brain positive thoughts, positive information. Now, this isn't just about affirmations. Affirmations can be great. They can also be used extremely poorly, with that being said. But what I mean by training your brain to think about positive things is start becoming more aware of your thoughts, 1, but then 2 is just start noticing more things around you. Start being more positive about things that are happening in your life. Start looking for opportunities to be more positive. You have to look for them. If you're not looking for them, you're not going to find them, because our brain has a negativity bias. It wants to look at the negative things. So you have to be extremely intentional and start focusing on what's positive around you. That's why a gratitude practice is so powerful. But you got to start flooding your brain with the positives, and think of this like brain training. Your brain has been trained to think about the negatives. So if you want to stop that cycle, you got to start giving your brain exercise with positivity. Now, the next step here, which is going to piggyback off of what I just talked about with positivity, is going to be creating a positivity journal or a positivity log. Now, this sounds kind of weird, but just hear me out with this for 1 second. With this, what we're doing is we're creating a log of all the positive experiences, memories, or things that you want to be positive about. Now, if I sat you down and I said, list all the things that you don't like about yourself, or list all the things that are negative in your life, or the things that are wrong in your life, most people are going to come up with a laundry list of stuff. But then you take that same person, you go, tell me all the positive things that are going on in your life. Tell me all your strengths. Most people have a much harder time with the latter. They have a much harder time thinking about the positive things in their life. They have a much harder time thinking about their strengths. And so what you want to do is, if you want to become more positive and you want to stop that negative thought pattern, You have to have an arsenal on your side of positive experiences, memories, emotions, and things that you can use, that you have handy, that you then can use anytime you want to feed your brain the positive thoughts. So what you're going to do is you're going to start creating a log of positive memories, things that make you feel really good, things that you're actually truly grateful for, not just like water, food, but like experiences that actually really are meaningful to you and actually make you feel very grateful. You're going to list your strengths, things you're really good at, accomplishments, things that people have praised you for. Write all those down and create a huge log of those, because these are things that you can have handy. Put them in a little Evernote file so that way you can just go into them right away and use those to flood your brain with positivity. And this is one of the easiest ways you can actually practically use that type of training. And step number 5, this is the most important here: rinse and repeat. That's right, you have to be consistent with this. This isn't gonna happen overnight. I know we talk about brain hacking, life hacking, and really the ultimate goal is we want things to happen faster for you. I wanna help you change your life as fast as possible, but that doesn't take away the need for consistency and action over time. Your brain doesn't rewire in an instant. Muscles don't grow in an instant. They take repetition and consistency. So the more you practice this, the easier it gets. Life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger the more you start to practice these things. We can always find an opportunity to find negative things around us. But the people who are truly positive aren't just ignoring the negative, they just start choosing to focus more on the positives. And that's training, that takes practice. Some people are gifted with it, but for some people, like me included, I've had to really train and practice this over time using the steps I just laid out for you. So by practicing this over and over and over, you're gonna get better, you're gonna get stronger, and your mind's gonna begin to change. We're gonna start to be able to see those more positive opportunities within your life. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hopefully it was useful for you. If you did find it useful, make sure you click that thumbs up button over there. And while you're over there, why don't you just click that red button over there to subscribe. That's gonna help you get access to future videos like this. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or you can find me over on Instagram. That's where a lot of people find me and ask questions. So I'd love to connect with you, love to hear from you, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode.